Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Brazil, Brazilian Association of Science Parks and Business Incubators, Antratec, the Brazilian incubators tecnoPARQ and SUPERA Parque. I welcome you all to the Brazilian phase of the first India-Brazil Agritech Cross Incubation Program. After the successful Indian phase of this pioneering initiative under the iBRICS network in 2019, the second phase intends to offer a deeper dive into the Brazilian ecosystem for the 5 selected Indian agritech startups over the next 10 days. To begin this virtual incubation program, I would now like to request His Excellency André Aranha Correa do Lago, Ambassador of Brazil to India, for his welcome remarks.
Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be with you. Dear friend Suresh Reddy, you are, once again, we are together thanks to technology. But I have to tell you that this time it took a little more because everybody got a bit confused. So unfortunately, I have a meeting very soon. But I have here with us Dalcy Bagolin, the agriculture attaché of the embassy, who is going to follow and who, by the way, understands infinitely better the subject than I do. So he's going to report to me very appropriately after that. But I am particularly happy because I was already here in 2019 and I participated in the first. And so it's an enormous pleasure for me, and those who know me know that I praise continuity. And what this event is proving is continuity. And this subject, agritech, is definitely an issue that brings together our two countries. Our two countries were, for many years, countries that depended on imports of many of their necessities, food-wise, and our countries were extraordinary in becoming not only great producers of most things we need, but also great exporters of agriculture, of agricultural products. So agritech for us is even more essential because we both have very large territories, but most of all, we have lots of smart people. So we are very happy that smart people dedicate themselves to this sector and that we can work together, because definitely a solution that works for one can be very easily adapted to work for the other. And that's why we are together here, is to find these connections. And I have to say that in the first meeting, we already saw that once the meeting was over, there was a very natural dialogue among participants. And this dialogue comes from the fact that they speak the same language literally, no, I mean the same language technologically, the same language as they know what are their objectives. So it is a great pleasure for me to see this event that represents continuity, that represents high tech, that represents the best of our country and our countrymen and women. And so I can only thank you all for getting together today and make sure that we will progress in that sense. Since the last meeting, we have much more agritech startups in Brazil. In fact, according to the numbers I got, we had 3 times more. We have 1,574 agritech startup. So this makes me also extremely happy that in spite of this year and a half in which we could not do our second meeting, and in spite of all the challenges, we all know that one of the most surprising and positive aspect of this crisis was how the agriculture sector has succeeded to overcome the challenges. So thank you to all of you for being here, and thank you mostly for the organizers. I'm so happy that the governments of Brazil and India are together in this, but also SEBRAE and Protec. We really are talking here about cooperation and we need the private sector, we need all the sectors to get together and to advance in this agenda. So thank you very much for the invitation. All the very best for the event. And I hope to see you on the 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador, for setting the context of this initiative. I now welcome His Excellency Mr. Suresh Reddy, Ambassador of India to Brazil, to deliver his keynote address.
Thank you. Thank you so much for welcoming me to the event, for inviting me. I think this is one of the most important engagements between India and Brazil. Brazil is indeed a superpower when it comes to agriculture. And similarly, India is also a superpower in agriculture. But here the beauty is that this is a partnership in which both countries stand to gain mutually. And this is a partnership in which Brazil can play a very important role in meeting the needs of the billion-plus Indians going into the future. Now, this meeting is also happening in the backdrop of two significant developments. Number one is the rapid adoption of digital technology in India and also happening in Brazil. When you look at, for example, we introduced this touchless, paperless, cashless economy, as we say, about 5 years ago. And now today, when you look at the numbers, it's mind-boggling. We are talking of the UPI transactions already crossing 3.65 billion in October. Number of transactions is 3.65 billion. While when you look at it in the month of, that was in September. In the month of October, it already crossed 4.21 billion transactions. You're talking of a sharp increase of almost 600 million transactions in 1 month. This shows the pace with which the digital technology is being adopted. And this also shows how the mindset is changing when it comes to application of digital technology. Now, the second development is that the rapid increase in the cost of inputs for the agriculture sector. Today, we are looking at fertilizer whose price has gone from $2,500 a ton to almost $7,000 a ton. And similarly, the wages, which is one of the most important critical inputs into the farming sector, has again got up quite sharply. And in this context, I think the change in the agriculture sector is going to be very rapid, because it's only going to push in a greater efficiency into the production models, into the storage models. And that is where I believe the agri-tech connect between India and Brazil became critical. Brazil has been a story of success in the agri-tech sector, and especially in the field of coffee, etc. They have done remarkable development in the field of coffee. And similarly, I believe that India can also benefit from Brazil's own innovation and successful models. And in this context, I would also like to compliment our Department of Science and Technology for the active support and push they're giving to the agriculture sector, especially in terms of the agri-tech. And similarly, I'm glad to see that we also have people from Brazil representing all the institutions from Brazil participating. And at the end, my good wishes and also my apologies, because my laptop, I had a problem. And so I now logged in through my phone. And I look forward to hearing you as the discussions proceed. Thank you so much again for the invitation.
Thank you, Ambassador Reddy, for being able to join us and for highlighting the vast scope of collaboration that can exist between our two countries in the field of agri-tech. I would now like to request Dr. Anita Gupta, Head of NEB Division at Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, to share her remarks on this program.
Thank you, Nidhi. Warm greetings from the Department of Science and Technology. Very good morning to Brazilians and good evening to all in India. We all heard both the ambassadors, His Excellency Andre Correa de Lago and Mr. Suresh Reddy, setting the tone and the context for this today's event and the meeting. As you all know, both the countries are dominant players as far as the agriculture-led economy goes in the country. We are among the top 4-5 nations in this domain. And in India, particularly, 50% of the workforce is employed in the agri activities, and 1/5 of the GDP is contributed by agriculture. And with the kind of technology push which is being given to agri sector, this really holds a lot of promise and potential as we go forward. And we all have seen in the pandemic times during lockdowns, how this particular agri activity was the backbone and the part of essential services, and the credit goes for keeping the life going during that pandemic times. And thanks to all those who are involved in the agri domain, both the countries. And as far as for the benefit of the audience here, DST has been driving and has been in the part of driving innovation, entrepreneurship, incubation countries since last 3 decades. And we have sort of really taken lead in building the basic building blocks for this, how it goes for creating the right set of ecosystem for innovation and entrepreneurship. But with the PM's drive of Startup India, Stand Up India, this has really leapfrogged, and a lot of academic institutions, stakeholders, all are involved in driving and pushing the entrepreneurship activities in various domains across the country. Today, we are the 3rd largest startup ecosystem. And over the years, while we have sort of created the necessary ecosystem across the academic institutions, because that happens to be our main target area. But now we have really realized what lacks in the whole innovation to market value chain. And when we have more than 55,000 registered startups across various domains, with a certain percentage also contributing to agri domain, we need to think of creating the right set of ecosystem domain wise. So while DST is sector agnostic, but now is the right time where startups are being seen as a new force of economic development, bringing in a catalyst of change, be it like introducing new innovations and technology across various domains of, you can say, be it fintech, agri-tech, everyone. Now we are focusing on, as our ambassador has rightly pointed out, marrying technology with agri will really give it a new shape altogether. We reshape the agri economy where the businesses could be, it could simplify overall activities of at the farm level, whether it's a farm to factory, farm to fork, or it will enable our entrepreneurs and startups in the domain to be more profitable, sustainable in the long run. And apart from this, how do we really, because now world is a market, a single market, how do we enable the good startups to really reach out to other markets globally? And this was one of its kind initiative when we partnered with Brazil in carving out this cross-border incubation program, that too focusing on a particular domain like agri-tech sector. So exactly 2 years back, this program was kicked off, and this was to be over in next 6 months. But thanks to pandemic and thanks to technology, at least we are able to cover in a virtual mode the startups, the Indian startups were supposed to go to Brazil to have the real insights at the ground level about, but whatever is possible, we are facilitating in this event today. And India is a very thriving place as a part of startup goes. 70 odd unicorns are already there, and we would like to see agri-based startup hitting the unicorn status. I think one which has really made news is the Dehat startup founded by IIT Delhi alumni. And I must say that the 5 startups who are going to pitch and showcase their innovations today, I wish them they also soon hit the really taste the real market success, and more so solve the real problems and challenges which the agri community is facing at large with the infusion of technology interventions. With those words, I must compliment our Pusa Krishi. This whole event was led by ICR Pusa Krishi Incubator, Dr. Neeru Bhushan. So thank you all, and I would look forward that our startups will really gain new insights for the Brazilian side market. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gupta, for your words and for highlighting the Indian government's perspective on the agri-tech ecosystem. I would now like to give the floor to Dr. Neeru Bhushan, CEO of Pusa Krishi Incubator, who has been our very brilliant partner in this initiative in the first phase and is continuing in this phase too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nidhi, for your nice words. And namaste to everyone, and a very warm evening to the Indian participant, and very good evening to the Brazilian parts. So by now, because all my seniors have set the right tone, so it's very easy for me to take it further. So because we all know that India and Brazil share the great synergies and multifaceted relationship, especially in the field of agricultural trade and animal husbandry, which fosters the economic growth with social inclusion in for the welfare of both the countries. But agricultural advancement in India have noteworthy, which has been started through Green Revolution, and wherein we provide the very good high yielding seeds with the help of the breeding improvement and the genetic modifications. And now, as Mr. Suresh Reddy, Indian ambassador to Brazil, has highlighted, that we are really, really very adopting the new technologies. So in case of agriculture is also one of the sector where we are following, or we are adopting the new technologies, and the precision agriculture is the next step in the evolution, and in which we are crop specific care is supplied after watching every minute events during the crop production. So basically, with this bilateral cooperation, India and Brazil, technology change is a reality and has this specific potential of increasing the agriculture productivity in India, making food security and nutritional security a reality. And in fact, we are striving towards that. And with large tracts of semi and arid semi lands and increasing uncertainty of the monsoon, India can adopt Brazil's practice and innovative policies in its own agriculture sector. This is something that we are really looking forward towards Brazil to adopt some of the good practices, like mechanization is another area where Brazil can support to us. In India, we are like the 66% market is being captured by the tractors. So there is a need for crop specific equipment. So this is one area where Brazil is really, really very good, and we can learn a lot from them. And another sector is like the post-harvest challenges India. So some of the post-harvest solution we are looking forward towards that. And in case when the Brazilian, this MATRI program was being started in 2019, and during the first phase, in fact, we started means jointly the 10 startups, 5 in Brazil from the Brazilian side and 5 from the Indian side. So I am really very happy to take it to share with you that some of, in fact, the 3 Brazilian startups, they have tied up with the 2 Indian startups, like the Decoy. They have the material exchange agreement with the Natura Crop Care, and another is TNS, for which the Natura Crop Care has conducted some of the field trials, which they found is really, really very good and the shelf life. Because, and another is Satkumat Analytics, that during when they were Brazilian delegation was when in India, so they could found some of these synergies over here. And now they are taking it further with those company, TOFLO and the DigiFarm. So they are, because I could see that some of the solutions were with the Brazilian parties, and some of the solutions were was with the Indian party, and another that we could see some of the requirements as far as the other are concerned. So because the technology commercialization regarding the silage, sugarcane silage making is one of the requirement that I have mentioned during our preliminary discussions as well. So we look forward to this kind of discussion, and these will be some of the tangible that we would like to achieve through these kind of program. If we can see some of the technology transfer, or some of the joint venture, or some of these startups, they can actually hit the market in each other countries. So like we provided them the means like ecosystem familiarity as far as the regulatories and statutory requirements are concerned, trade related aspect in agriculture, corporates meeting and investors meeting, and ecosystem what we have. So in a same way, I think this program has also been designed wherein now the Indian delegation will also get the same taste. They are looking forward that they can meet some of the corporates and some of the startups so that they can also engage with them. Further, there will be a more aggressive conversation wherein the technological exchange between the two countries will be a reality. So really, this kind of the program is need of the hour, and it will really play a very important role. So Indian delegation look forward to some of the tangible results that we can achieve with this part. In fact, we wish that we could visit the Brazil, but due to the international pandemic situation, it was really not possible. Otherwise, we were about to leave country when in 2020, when the pandemic happened. In fact, we were all very excited and we were preparing ourselves to visit the Brazil. But yeah, everybody knows the story that could not happen. So this was the only via media, and thanks to the technology by which we are in a position to complete this mission and to achieve some of the tangible results. Once again, I welcome all the 5 Indian startups as well as the Brazilian delegation, and my thanks to the Brazilian parts and Brazilian counterparts. So they came forward and they easily accepted our invitation to complete the mission by organizing the virtual meetings, because this was the only way. Otherwise, we were thinking that it will will be a very abrupt end. So but thanks to Dr. Anita Gupta and Mr. Dalsey and the counterparts, and that they came forward and they agreed that we can arrange this kind of meeting virtually. So once again, thank you. And we are really excited to learn more from the Brazilian part so that we can also take some of the lessons that we can serve our country very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhushan, for highlighting the results of the first phase and for also specifying the niche areas where India and Brazil can collaborate in future, and further such missions where hopefully you will be able to participate in person in Brazil. So now I would like to call on floor Mr. Pedro Emboava Vais, Technological Innovation Superintendent at Secretariat for Economic Development of the Minas Gerais State.
Thank
Pedro.
you. Thank you for us as the State Secretary of Economic Development. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning to all the Brazilians here. Good evening to all the Indians, and thank you very much for being here with us today. We, as the state government, we do understand that science, technology, and innovation is the future of our economy. So in order to do that, we do not only need to foster new startups to be developed here at the state of Minas Gerais, but we also need to foster the relationship between the more traditional sectors with those technologies that are being developed by those brilliant minds inside universities or even inside the market. So for us, it's really interesting to have here the tecnoPARQ, the technological park from the Federal University of Viçosa, that has been a really important partner for us and has done some amazing work in order to foster new innovation and new startups here. But also we would like to congratulate SUPERA Parque, that is also part of our Brazilian team that is being doing this cross incubation program. And to all the Indian part, we would like to thank you once again, and we're looking forward to have this relationship being built. So just to give a glance about what Minas Gerais State can offer, and to make really clear, our objective or our main goal here is to foster this relationship, especially to attract the startups that are being developed in India to Brazil, especially to Minas Gerais. And whatever way we're able to do that, we will do so. So please do not hold back. Reach out to us. Reach out to tecnoPARQ, and we'll do everything we can in order to connect you with amazing opportunities in venture capital, but also in doing business with great companies in Brazil, but also to facilitate some bureaucracy that we know we do have here in order for you to come here. But especially when we think about Minas Gerais, we do know that we're not the first state that came to mind when we think about Brazil, because we do have São Paulo, that is the main economic center here in Brazil, and we do have amazing beaches in Rio de Janeiro, and everyone knows that. But I really need to point out that Minas Gerais, especially, we are the second Brazilian state in terms of population. We are the third state in terms of GDP, in the size of our GDP. And one of the main parts of our GDP is agriculture. So talking about agri-tax is extremely important for us. Not only because our agriculture is one of the main forces that drive our economy here inside of the state of Minas Gerais, but we do know that our agriculture needs to have much more efficiency, and we do need to implement more technology inside of it. We are the biggest coffee producers in Brazil. We are the biggest milk producers in Brazil. We have a historic history of developing and fostering agriculture here at our state. But not only that, we do also have a history of developing technology. So the second center of R&D from Google is in Brazil, more specifically in Minas Gerais, the state of Minas Gerais. That's due because they acquired a long time ago a company called Aquan in the beginning of the 2000s. That is a company that has been developed by the university here at the state of Minas Gerais. And since that, we developed a lot of other companies, a lot of other startups. We are the second state in number of startups here in Brazil. And the agri-tax are a really big part of it. And we do have a lot of innovation spaces and innovation programs here to help foster those startups and those innovations. We have over 60 of those only inside of the state of Minas Gerais. And we're talking about incubators, accelerators, venture builders, and all the other kind of ambience that can help the development of those innovations. And just to maybe wrap up my presentation, my really brief presentation, we, as the state of Minas Gerais, also do have the largest number of federal universities here in Brazil. That is like the really the main think tanks in Brazil when we think about the higher education system. Federal universities are the way to do that, and we have the largest number of it. But we also do have a lot of really amazing and really good private universities. So what I'm trying to paint the picture here is for you all to understand that here we do have amazing innovation ecosystems. We do have amazing, you will have amazing support from incubators, accelerators, venture builders if you want to do so. We, as the government, we're looking forward to help those startups to grow here, to employ people, and of course, in the future, to pay taxes. That's the way the things work in general. But we also would love to help you all connect with all the amazing and really medium and large size companies that we do have in the state of Minas Gerais. They're pushing forward our economy and are looking forward more and more day by day, especially during this pandemic. They understood that the way forward and the way into the future is by connecting themselves, connecting those structures and those traditional sectors, especially agriculture, to innovation and to technology. So I would just like to wrap up saying that anything you think we can do as the state of Minas Gerais, state government of Minas Gerais, to help you foster your business and to bring your business to Brazil, especially to Minas Gerais, please reach out to do so, and we'll be more than happy to do. Thank you.
Nidhi, can I step in here for a minute?
Sure, Ambassador.
For the benefit of friend Pedro, I visited Belo twice, Minas twice, and you'll be happy to know that we are looking at a delegation led by the governor or the deputy governor in the month of March to India, number one. Number two, last time when I was in Belo, I had the pleasure of watching Atletico Mineiro win against Corinthians. It was a wonderful football match, my first football match in Brazil, and I still have such great memories about it. But the third point which I wanted to mention was just 2 days ago, the government of India granted production linked incentive, what we call PLI, for 4 sectors. This is for the tune of almost $1.5 billion, the total incentive. To start with, the 4 sectors were identified, and one of the 4 is production of mozzarella cheese. Now, these are all big companies which are looking to produce mozzarella cheese. And so I think for Mr. Dalsey, who has been, by the way, doing an outstanding job in promoting the connect between Brazil and India in the field of agriculture, I think it's a good opportunity to connect those companies which have got this incentive sanction and the cheese producers in Minas, and to see how they could form the collaboration. Because I do believe Minas has the best cheese, and you have been winning a lot of international awards. And the Indian middle class is now looking to have good cheese in the market. I think it's opening up a new window of opportunity for the cheese producers in Minas, and you should look into that. With this, again, my thanks to you all for joining, and it was a pleasure listening to you also, Pedro. Ciao.
Thank you, Ambassador, and thank you, Mr. Vaz. You already have an idea of collaboration, and I'm sure our selected Indian agri-tech startups will also bank on your support to enhance their business in Brazil. Now, I would like to call on floor Mr. Rodrigo Mendes, Director of International Relations at Anprotec, for his remarks.
Well, good evening to our colleagues from India, and I would like to thank you all for joining us today. Especially thanks to the Brazilian Embassy in India and the Indian Embassy in Brazil, on the presence of Ambassador André Correa Lago and also Ambassador Suresh Reddy, whom I had the pleasure to meet while visiting São José dos Campos last year. I was working at São José dos Campos Technology Park at the time, and I know he's a very enthusiast of technology and startups. So thank you very much for the opportunity of having this, which is the first initiative of a cross-incubation program that we did from Anprotec side in Brazil. So we are finally having the second phase of this program. It started, as all we know, in 2019, and unfortunately we didn't have the opportunity to have it on site with the startups, which also I would like to warmly welcome all the startups from India that are joining this week in activities with Brazil. And I would like to thank also SUPERA Parque and tecnoPARQ Viçosa for joining us in this opportunity. And I would like to highlight, as all my previous speakers highlighted, the importance of agriculture industry and agri-tech for both Brazil and India. I would like to point that more than that, this program is a program of international connection and global market access. So the cross-incubation activity or the cross-incubation program is a great opportunity, not only for the startups to participate on it, to access a different market, to have the opportunity to connect with an international business incubator in an international market that will help them to connect with potential clients in a new market, but also it's a great importance for those incubators and science parks, technology parks that are receiving these startups, because also we will have the opportunity to internationalize our ecosystems as they participate in a program like this. So that's actually one very important achievement for Anprotec, especially our international relations sector in the Amprotech. So I would like to thank you all, and also the Minas Gerais government for participating in this phase. And Mihi, thank you very much for all your support. And all our teams from Amprotech, Maria Carolina and Gustavo, have been working hard on this program. And well, welcome everyone to Brazil. I hope you have a great week of a lot of activities, and thank you for all the partners. So I hope we'll have as soon as possible a new round for startups from Brazil and also from the startups from India to come to Brazil. That I think it would be the best part of it. So thank you very much, and have a great week ahead, everyone with TechTeam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Menzies. We will be counting on your support for the next round as well. Now I would like to call on stage Mr. Rodrigo Filela, Incubator Coordinator for Technology Park of Viçosa.
Hi, everyone. Good morning to my colleagues in Brazil. Good evening to our friends in India. This is a great opportunity for all of us and has long been awaited. I'm from the Technology Park of Viçosa, and I'm currently deputy head for the incubator. And as Pedro said, we are located in the state of Minas Gerais, the fourth largest state in Brazil. Minas is rich in history and famous for its friendly people and also for its cheese. As a business incubator, we aim to assist and develop technology-based enterprises, mostly agri-tech, and we have developed more than 80 startups since 2001. As part of Brazil-India cross-incubation program, I would like to congratulate all the 5 startups and state that we are here to help you, help create networking, business, and partnership. So I'll be quick, looking forward to meeting you here all in Brazil or maybe in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Filela, for your words. Now I would like to give the floor to Ms. Melina Florenzano, who is the agribusiness consultant for SUPERA Parque.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to me stay with you today and the next week. It's a pleasure to me. My name is Melina, and I'm responsible for the agribusiness department at SUPERA Technological Parque. I'm going to give you a brief institutional presentation on it today. SUPERA Parque is approximately 400,000 square meters in size and is located in an area that comprises the University of São Paulo. SUPERA Technological Parque promotes networking and connection, integrates universities, research centers, startups, and technology-based companies by changing knowledge and technology. It was set up in 2003 as a business incubator within the University of São Paulo, and it's become a technological park with the new infrastructure. We have 2 buildings with a technology center and a business center. It's accredited by the Technology Innovation Community Area. That is, it has accreditation to execute a project related to the informatic laws and the good law. We have hard science in SUPERA Parque, high methodological rigor, accuracy, and objectivity. Our technology center has 90 testing laboratories and 80 tests certified by Inmetro, which assist both health and agribusiness spheres. We believe that incentives for innovation must start at an early age. Therefore, we encourage entrepreneurship among children and adolescents. We did more than 60 events held in 2020, interaction with more than 4,000 people in Brazil and around the world. And we have a portfolio with 80 companies today. We generate more than 450 jobs. We won some most important awards in 2014, 2019, and 2020 with the important technological park in Brazil. We have some solutions like SUPERA Incubator, where SUPERA supports startups, so they develop their products and service, get their products off ground by providing them with training and supporting different required areas, management, legal, fundraising, and intellectual properties. We have lots for medium and large companies, a local productive arrangement in the city, healthy brewing, software, and creative economic segments, business center, rooms ranging from 40 to 60 square meters to set up business operation. Membership is a program that has the mission to strengthen and unify the entrepreneur ecosystem. And we have a SUPERA Lab, an open innovation program intended for companies. It aims to building connections between the different actors in the innovation ecosystems. We are in extension for medium and large companies, a complex with 126 lots that range from 800 to 4,000 square meters. Companies can rent these areas to build their facilities. We have a business center and business incubator expansion, an area with rooms of 150 square meters approximately, that can hold up the 19 companies. And it has a complete infrastructure, restaurants, coffee shop, and a lot of facilities. It's a pleasure for us to be here with you. And thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, to email Henrique Reis, my colleague at SUPERA Parque. We work together, and it will be a really nice immersion program for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Melina, for highlighting SUPERA Parque's achievements and facilities, which I'm sure the Indian startups will make good use of in the coming days. I would now like to get into the segment of introductory presentations by the 5 Indian startups. So starting with Mr. Kalyan Kole, founder of AGPAN Animal Biocare Private Limited. I call him to give his brief presentation.
Hello everyone. I'm audible, Nidhi?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Myself, Kullan, founder and director of AGPAN Animal Biocare Private Limited. Our company actually working on biotechnology. We are introducing the technology of artificial insemination in goat in association with National Dairy Research Institute and Central Institute for Research on Goat. Especially in eastern part of India, there is a famous goat breed known as the Black Bengal. But due to inbreeding problem, farmers facing huge loss last 10 to 20 years. They are facing average 40% decrease of their annual income. So we have introduced this technology very popularly now, adopted by the full eastern part of India. Already we have reached about more than 2 lakh goat farmers who have used this technology. And our technology also used by the rural youth. We have trained them this technology, and then they implement this to the rural goat farmers' house. Already we have trained more than 3,000 rural youths who are now earning monthly 10,000 to 20,000 by using this very popular technology. And also now we have added another business model that the buyback policy. We are purchasing this artificial insemination goat kits from the rural goat farmers with higher market price. Now we have a huge resource of Black Bengal goat meat. Now our next phase we are targeting to this meat with branded product in the D2C market. And this is our business model. Thank you. And also I want to remark on this point that Decoy, the Brazilian company, they work on the ticks problem. and that is huge demand in the goat sector in India. There are 1.5 million goats, and there is huge demand of this technology. Our company also interested with collaboration with them, and also want to request the Embassy of Brazil and our government of India that we have required more collaboration with this Brazilian entrepreneurs, because we have required more technology on this small ruminant animal. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kalyan, for a brief overview of your work at AGPAN. I would now like to call on floor Mr. Manoj Kumar, founder and CEO of Natura Crop Care.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Manoj Kumar, founder and managing partner of Natura Crop Care. We are a startup in India mainly working on sustainable solutions which are end-to-end, that is starting from seed sowing till the post-harvest technologies. We have about 6 patented technologies, and out of which the fruit fly trapping technology, which has been identified as a potential technology for Brazilian phase of this project. And mainly we have wonderful products that are actually useful for controlling the female and male fruit flies in crops like cucurbits, melons, and citrus crops. So which are the major crops in Brazil as well. And we have a wonderful product that has been working well for the which has actually been identified as potential product by Indian government as well. And currently we have products ranging from biologicals for sustainable agriculture, that is when starting from the fruit fly traps. We have also post-harvest technology products for enhancing the shelf life of fruits, and also biological herbicides, which are potentially useful in any major agriculture segment. And I am really thankful and feeling privileged for being identified as one of the potential startup to be introduced to Brazil. And I feel that definitely we will take things forward. And actually we have also been validating a few products of 2 Brazilian startups, that is TNS, that is a nano product for enhancing the shelf life of products, along with our product. And there we have got good results. And similarly, we have also have a material transfer agreement with Decoy, and we are trying to work for this for the implementation of this technology in India. And similarly, we are also looking for synergistic partners in Brazil, where we can take our path-breaking innovative technologies which can be implemented successfully and commercially in Brazil as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj, for sharing with us the results of your collaboration with Brazilian startups in the first phase. And I hope this collaboration will only deepen and widen with the second phase now. I would now call Mr. Ravindranath J, Business Development Manager at Zentan Labs, for his remarks.
Hello all, good evening. Nidhi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So good morning to all the Brazilian team present here. So myself, Ravindranath from Zentan Labs. We are a Bangalore-based technology company. So we have designed and developed fruits and vegetable grading machines, where fruits and vegetables can be graded based on size, color, weight, shape, and defect. So this technology has been proved, and we have multiple customer installations in India. So when it comes to this Indo-Brazil collaboration, we see Brazil is one of the largest producer of citrus fruits, and we want to provide this solution to the citrus growers and traders there, where they can use these machines to sort and grade based on the parameters. So we are a 75-member team based in Bangalore, and we have the complete IP technology, starting from software, algorithms, optics, electronics, and entire service teams are here. So this is a brief about our company, and we look forward to meet all the key partners where we would like to be introduced to the companies in Brazil in the similar lines, where we can help the value chain in this segment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravindranath, for giving us a brief profile of Zentan Labs. Now, I would like to call Mr. Rohit Charda, Director and Co-founder of Silage Agro Private Limited.
Thank you, Nidhi. Bom Jiya to all the Brazilian delegation here, and Dalsi, good evening to you. I think you're in India. And namaste to everybody. So my name is Rohit Charda, and I am co-founder and director of Silage Agro Private Limited, which is a company focused on animal nutrition, essentially nutrition for dairy cattle. When we talk about India, it is the largest milk producer globally. We are producing close to about 200 million tons of milk on an annual basis, and which is a great accomplishment. But still, in terms of per capita, we still have a long way to go. The per capita milk consumption is still pretty low in India, and the amount of milk that we are producing in the country today, it's surely because of the number of animals, ruminants that we have. It's almost close to about 300 million cows and buffaloes that we are milking on a daily basis. This is the size of Indian dairy industry that I'm talking about. The space that we are in animal nutrition is a very promising space, because India is producing the largest amount of milk, but has very poor productivity, or average yield per animal is very low. And that's where, the challenge is, and that's where the opportunity is for startups like us, focusing on animal husbandry. So what we have done here is that we focused on animal nutrition, and we started out in 2015. So the product that we have is silage, which is commonly available, but now it's in a packed form, and we are hitting farmers at a price point of as low as under 10 cents per kg, which is like, a very cost-effective nutritional product being available. In a span of 5 years, we are connected with over 40,000 farmers in North India, and we are expanding to other geographies. In a very short span, silage is coming up as an industry for fodder preservation. And in this span, with the connections that we have, we are connected with farmers producing over 2 million liters of milk per day. So this is the kind of network that we've been able to create. And we are interested in pushing better products in the Indian markets that are available in Brazil. And apart from that, we also have started with the baling technology. We have indigenous machines, which definitely would have a market in Brazil, and we're happy to explore that potential opportunity as well. Thank you. And Nidhi, you're looking at me.
Yes, I have. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Rohit, for sharing with us about your product. Now, I would like to go to Dr. Satkumat from Satkumat Analytics.
Hello, yeah. Good evening, everybody. Good morning. I am Dr. Satkumat Tomar from Satkumat Analytics. We are also Bangalore-based firms. So in India, like Rohit was also mentioning, we have lower productivity in terms of the cow milks. The same challenges faced by the farmers. We have very low crop yield compared to the world's best agriculture countries. So how we can enhance the crop yield? By using the technology. So typically we can use IoT sensors, but they are costly and they capture only the local information. So as a company, we are looking at how we can utilize the satellite remote sensing, where we can capture information not only in the local part, but over the entire farm, and how we can provide the actionable insight to the farmers and other agricultural stakeholders. In remote sensing also, there are some challenges when we have cloud cover and traditional remote sensing cannot provide the information. So we are looking at how we can use microwave remote sensing, which provide the information in all weather conditions, including the cloudy conditions. So by using all this technology, we have a mobile app, which is being used by about 10,000 farmers in India, where they get timely information timely warning for any the pest and disease that can come, and all the package of practice they should follow, and all the information in real time it's provided to them. And also by using all this technology, we are working with agriculture companies, rural bank, the crop insurance companies, and through this program we look forward to work with Brazilian startups and the companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Sat, and welcome to the program. Now, these were the stalwarts of our Agritech incubation program from the Indian side. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Henrique Reis, coordinator of the International Office of SUPERA Parque, for giving us a brief overview of the agenda of the next day's program.
Hello, everyone. Does my audio coming clean? Can everybody hear me well?
Yes. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, great. Thank you for this opportunity, Nidhi. Thank you for all. Good morning for my Brazilian colleagues. Good morning to all the India part. I would like to start saying sorry because I had some notebook problems, and I would request if Juscelia, my colleague from tecnoPARQ, if she can share her screen, if she can share the agenda, and I will comment about the next steps that we're gonna have tomorrow and the next week. Just a moment, please. If you can, I'm not able to see Juscelia. I think that's unfortunately, when we are doing some online events, we have this kind of problem. So I would like to say sorry to all. Just one moment. Okay. Thank you very much, Juscelia. Well, everyone. So today we are almost finishing our institutional day. Tomorrow we're gonna have everything's gonna be done virtually. We're gonna have tomorrow the training sessions that will start at the same time at 8 a.m. for us in Brazil, and I believe that in India it's 4:30 p.m. I believe that's right. Then we're gonna have the introduction to the Brazilian market. We're gonna have some presentations from the Embrapa, which is a Brazilian partner that we have, and then we're gonna have Dr. Adriana. She is responsible for the tecnoPARQ, and she's going to do the training campus and value chain. Next week, we're gonna start the immersion week. We try to focus always in the business concept, trying to come up with business and opportunity for the Indian startups to having some connections with the Brazilian market. On Monday, we're gonna have a small presentation about the programs that we have, about the soft landing programs that we have here in SUPERA Parque and soft landing programs that we have in tecnoPARQ. Also, it's gonna have the SUPERA Labs presentation, which is the open innovation program that we have here in Brazil. And then we're gonna have the video pitch from the startup. And at the end, we're gonna have maybe 1 or 2 minutes, very brief commentaries about the persons that are gonna see the pitch and gonna come up with some questions for the startup. On Tuesday, we're gonna have the training sessions of how the Indian startups can deal with the Brazilian market, and then we're gonna have the individual mentorship with each one of the Indian startups and the persons that evaluate their pitches from the day before. On Wednesday, we're gonna have the startup panel, the Brazilian startup panel, so that the Indian startup can understand a little bit about how does the startup can grow inside the Brazilian market, and what were the challenges that the Brazilian startup had, and how does this connection with them can help them grow their business here in Brazil. On Thursday, we're gonna have the B2B meetings. We evaluated some companies, some big corporate companies from the agribusiness, not only in São Paulo, but also from Minas Gerais as well, so that they can fully, so that they can have a mentorship with the Indian companies, and that the Indian startup can fully understand how does an agribusiness company in Brazil can grow and become one of the one big corporate here in Brazil, and also trying to connect some matchmaking programs. And on Friday, and the last day of our immersion week, we're gonna have the final pitches from the Indian startup, and we also got in contact some investors and joint venture companies that will be with us, and they will evaluate the pitches from the Indian startup. Also thinking about that they can having some business together later. Well, guys, it was very brief resume about the next steps that we're gonna have, and we are so amazed with this opportunity. And I believe that not only for us, but it's a huge opportunity for the Indian startups as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Henrique. So this was the agenda for the next days. If any of the Indian members have any questions or clarifications, now would be the time.
So Nidhi, can I go on? This is Rohit.
Yes, please.
So in general, the companies that would be visiting, would we be able to get a list of those companies or a background in terms of the companies that will be invited during the immersion program?
Yes,
I think
not only have not only having the contact, but all the companies will have a individual mentorship, individual meeting with all of the Indian startups as well. So even though that you can try to have some connections with them, we also are thinking about for the next step after the immersion week. We're also thinking 2-3 steps ahead. So the introduction can be done in the immersion week, but the negotiation part and all of the next steps you can have further than after the immersion week.
Sure. Thank you, Enrique. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Questions?
I guess not. So, okay, this wraps up the inaugural session of our hopefully very successful Brazilian phase of the first India-Brazil Agritech Cross Incubation Program. And we'll see you all tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. IST and 8 a.m. BRT for the training session. All the best to everyone. Thank you.